Head over to stretfordpaddock.bigcartel.com and check out the Paddock merch. And for a short time, you can get 20% off orders with 2 items or more using the code Paddock20. Go get on it.
Hey,
Hello,
Joe, how many of
welcome
them
to
Ollie's at the
Stretford
wheel
Paddock.
shirts have we sold?
My name is Joe, and that is Stephen Howson. Joining us as well is Jay Motti. How is everyone today? Big weekend of international football that we've all loved for us to talk
I
about.
like the way you just read him through my interrupt.
Bit of Zidane stuff going on because this isn't the Brew House, Stephen. This is the
what
Paddock
I'm-
podcast.
Excuse me, I take offence to that. At the Brew, we have a strict script.
So, yeah.
Points,
Protocol.
points, topics
Anyway.
that we adhere to.
Like I was saying, how's them Ollie's at the wheel t-shirt selling?
Yeah, they're doing well then. I saw a picture of someone in an Aldi with a Man United shirt that's with Ollie out, number 7 on the back.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I can show you the picture if you want. I didn't make it up. Anyway.
In an Aldi?
Yeah, in an Aldi. I'll show you the picture. We're looking at Zidane today, been rumoured over the weekend. The latest on the sort of merry-go-round of people you can, link with Manchester United. We'll look at this fan share scheme that's been announced.
It's all very new.
today.
This. I just sort of landed in my inbox like I'm important. I just got asked a few messages about it and I don't really know much about it, so you can fill me in.
Well, I'll fill you right in just a minute, and I'll fill you in on camera.
Nice.
And we'll be talking a bit about Harry Maguire as well. England played over the weekend. Maguire's coming for a bit of stick. There you go. Look, that's what he's
this
done.
business, yeah.
You love all that. You love all that. Let's start with Zidane. For anyone who hasn't seen, United have been linked with him. Talk about him coming in the summer. Talk about him coming after January. We're not winning many games, Stephen.
Oh.
That's the problem.
I remember.
We'll go into a bit more detail as we go along. But what are your initial thoughts on Zidane? Because we haven't really spoken about this. Steve.
Is it time when I start talking about his career and everyone who didn't watch him gets offended because they don't fucking know what they're talking about?
Go on then.
That might be it.
Why will they get offended?
Because he was a phenomenal international player and a fraud of a club player.
A fraud of a club
yeah, but
player?
forget-
Really? Are we saying that? Are we going that
I
far?
fucking said it.
A fraud as a player. Yeah, but forget about him as a player.
Okay, okay.
Or as a manager.
Well, hang on a minute.
Well,
No, let's just not. You can't just say he was a fraud of a player. Let's forget about that and
That's what I
talk
said,
about
Jay.
something else.
That's not what I said, Jay.
Yeah, a fraud of a club
Thank
player.
you.
Right, because I seem to remember, I think it was the 2002 Champions League final.
Right.
The ball comes across, and what is arguably the greatest goal in a final
Right.
is scored by a certain Zinedine Zidane.
So scoring in the Champions League finals means you're a fucking phenomenal player that wasn't inconsistent as fuck now.
If you score in a red shirt of United, then yes. But also, not just
Did
that.
Steve
When he
McManaman
was
score
at
in that
Juve,
Did Steve McManaman score a fucking volley in that game?
I don't know. I don't count that goal anyway. It was offside probably.
Interesting.
Also, when he was at Juve, he was mint.
Was it?
Yeah,
Week in,
just
week
because Roy Keane made him look stupid doesn't mean he wasn't good.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It was not like he was rubbish.
Is it?
It was Raul, by the way, who's good at that. Also, are you genuinely saying that Zidane was rubbish
No, what I'm saying is, and you can take this however
as a
you
club
want,
player?
I think Zidane's career and Paul Pogba's career are almost identical in that sense.
That's
in
controversial.
that they both been very, very, very good. In fact, no, do you know what? Paul Pogba hasn't quite hit the heights that Zidane hit in a French shirt. In a French shirt, Zidane was almost flawless. However,
Yeah.
for both Real Madrid and Juventus, didn't quite hit the heights that his international career suggested that he should do.
But
Pretty inconsistent.
but is that not because he was like one of the best players in the world when he was
No,
playing
it's
for
because he was
France?
fucking inconsistent, Joe.
Was he?
Yeah.
Interesting. How about him as a manager? And I'm sure no one will disagree with anything you've just said there. But you said it
Do you know what? There's
before
gonna be
you even
loads of-
said
hang
it.
on,
You
let me
knew
see.
they would.
Yeah, no, hang on.
Come on, let's have some comments, man.
Someone said house and drunk ? Wow, lol.
Right. I guarantee you didn't watch him.
That's fair enough. I
I
would.
guarantee you
That's
didn't
quite
watch him.
possible.
Here's the thing, right? People look at Zidane's career as an international player. And as an international player, I think he got his Ballon d'Or on the back of an international player. He got his... Like, basically, he did some amazing shit. 98, 2000, 2002 in a France shirt. The following seasons...
2006. Got up to the final.
yeah.
Scored in the final.
But the following seasons, I can't remember what he did after that one though. The following seasons, and even around those seasons, he was fucking very ordinary as a club.
I think you're being a tad harsh. I understand the Real Madrid thing with the Galacticos, because as soon as Maguire left that team, it wasn't the same. And I know they won the Champions League or anything, that was before he left, but they did struggle. There was a sort of all loads of superstars, Carlos, Zidane, Beckham, of course. And for a few years, it wasn't happening at all. And people were like, this isn't working. And he was part of that. But I still think he was a quality player for club.
He was a good player.
And I think Paul Pogba's been a quality player for Manchester United. But there's an extra gear.
I think there's a massive gulf between Pogba and Zidane.
There's an extra gear that he didn't hit that you thought he could hit for his club, and I think Paul Pogba's in the same.
I think that you could argue the case that there's an extra gear, whatever, but I still think Zidane had a very, very good club career. I don't think Paul Pogba has. I think he's had a decent
Gavin
one.
Anthony, Steve's correct in this one. Thank you, Gavin.
There you go. Rather than arguing about how good he was as a player,
and that's the only comment anyone's made that he's read out.
Doesn't matter two fucks to
Manchester
Manchester
matter,
United.
Joe. We need to talk about this for the next 45 minutes.
Can we instead talk about how good he is as a manager and his suitability to manage Manchester United?
I don't know if we know.
Right.
Because I think he won 2 titles, which, again, you win 2 league titles, especially where he took them from, because I think Benitez, like he does, because he's fucking garbage, had absolutely widged up Real Madrid prior to Zidane coming in. Zidane made him feel good. I don't think he won the league that year with them, did he?
I don't think so. I know there was one year when he won both, wasn't it? Was it 2016 and 17 he won both?
4 seasons.
Yeah, he won 3 Champions League, 2 La Ligas. So his goal scoring, his trophy winning record is phenomenal. He's won as many Champions Leagues at Real Madrid as United have won.
The 2 league titles is more impressive than the 3 Champions Leagues.
Really?
Because I think a cup competition, quite often the best team in Europe does not win the Champions League. Winning 3 back-to-backs.
Yeah, no one had ever won 2 Champions League back-to-back, and I don't think anyone had ever. Well, no one had ever won 3 European Cup or Champions Leagues back-to-back.
Yeah, European Cups. Real Madrid did 5.
Was it as a manager?
Oh, right. Sorry, I thought you meant
I have no idea who the manager was.
I think didn't Real Madrid do it with
as far as I could find, the only 3 managers that had won 3 Champions Leagues.
Champions League's different, because no one's won back-to-back Champions Leagues other than winning it.
Yeah.
Because she was the last person to retain it, 89 and 90.
Really?
Yeah.
Knowledge.
AC Milan. 3 foreign players.
No, because this was European Cup.
But looking at that team.
Shut up, Jay. Can you name the 3 foreign players? Talking about
for
1990.
For 1990?
1990.
Oh, easy. That's Rijkaard, Van Basten, and Hullet.
In one, nothing but net.
According to
Carlo Ancelotti played midfield for that team.
According to Wikipedia, managers with multiple titles are in the Champions League or European Cup, because this is talking 50s and 60s. 3 managers have won 3 European Cups. That's Bob Paisley, Carlo Ancelotti, and Zinedine Zidane. No one, according to this, has won 3 in a row. Bob Paisley won 2 in a row and then won another one 3 years later. Ancelotti's a spread over 11 years. Zidane's the only one to win 3 in a row. Yeah, Clough won 2 in a row. Here's the interesting thing. Loads of them won them. I mean, it's a side point. Loads of them have won back-to-back. So 64, 65, 61, 62, 58, 59. Fergie's one of the few that's won 2 Champions Leagues 10 years apart. There's not many that have done that on that list of multiple winners. Look, 2009, 11, 8, and Fergie's one of the other ones. Anyway, he's one of 3 managers to win 3 Champions Leagues or European Cups, including Real Madrid in the 50s, because they switched managers out around that time. There was Louis Carnelia and Jose Villalonga who won their sort of 4 in a row, 5 in a row. And yet, he's not talked about in the same realm as Ancelotti, Paisley, Fergie, Clough. I know he didn't do as much of them outside of that, but European-wise, like you said, he's won as many as Manchester United has. And he won them in a row. No one had ever won 2 Champions Leagues in a row.
I wonder if that diminishes it a little bit, because it was basically the same team, and you've got a hell of a stat, which I'm not going to steal off you. You did the work. It's your stat. So give them that stat.
In the 3 Champions League finals in a row that they won,
it's amazing this year.
Yeah. There were 2 changes made to that starting 11. Across 3 years. So the first year they took out, after the first one to the second one, they took out Pepe and Bale and put in Varane and Isco. Yeah. And then between the second one and the third one, they didn't make any changes. Right. So 3 Champions League finals, 3 Champions League wins, and they only used 13 players. Right. How is injuries
also as well?
So does that diminish it because he had his strongest side available for 3 years?
No, because he made changes though during those games. Then it wasn't against the Scousers that Bale come on as a sub and scored 2 goals.
Yeah, but he still started.
Yeah. No, he started. But
13 players across 3 games.
Player for player, I know they had some very, very good players, but
did they?
You wouldn't argue that was the best team.
Did they?
Well, you just said it wasn't the best team in Europe.
No, I said sometimes the best team in Europe doesn't win the Champions League.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say player for player that was probably the best team in Europe.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily say it was. I said sometimes the best. There was no inference on anything else beyond sometimes the best team in Europe doesn't win.
No, but that's my point. like that's a team that, okay, yeah, you got some stars, not necessarily a vintage team, which sounds crazy because it won 3 on a row, but he's made it into a winning machine.
Oh no, I think
I think that, like, you know,
Go
when you
through it,
look
play
at
for
I
player.
think that might be one of the best teams ever.
It's
Really?
almost a
Yeah.
flawless 11.
I'm not so sure.
I don't
Give
think
me that
it's-
second team.
Yeah,
the
well,
second team.
it's Navas, Carvajal, Pepe, Navas, Carvajal, Varane, Ramos,
that is sick,
Marcelo,
to be fair.
Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, Isco, Benzema, Ronaldo.
Shut the fuck
Like
up.
that's obviously they were competing against that, you know, Busquets.
That's what I mean,
Iniesta,
like, yeah.
Rakitic team. But that team, that starting 11, is absolutely sublime. But then again, there's been great teams before. You look at, you know, Milan in the 90s and
The
2000s.
Galacticos team only
the
won one
Galacticos
Champions
team.
League, and the player for player, you probably got to add
Yeah.
more stars and a better team.
Even the
Having someone like Casemiro, though, and a Cruz, those are
I mean, that is a phenomenal team, but also as well,
are also world class.
The Barcelona team that we all gone about, the greatest team of all time.
yeah.
How many did they ever win 3 in a row? Champions
No,
League.
they never won 2 in a row. They won 3 over, I think, 6 years.
That's what I mean. So,
But it won 3 years.
So-
2 in 3 years.
and that's talked about
Yeah.
as the greatest team ever. So he's got a team that is very good. Going through that play, I'm not saying it's not a good team. My point is it the greatest team? Is it as good as the Barcelona team that didn't do that? Probably not.
Do you go forward 3 again?
Well, it's Isco, Benzema, and Ronaldo. Those 3.
I'm not saying it's not a good team. Obviously, it is. But is it the greatest ever? No, it's not. But he's done what no other manager's done. So why is he not getting more credit then?
I don't know, and maybe because it's only done it at one club.
There's something else that you pulled
If it
out
was that
earlier.
good, Pep would have done it with that Barcelona team. If it was that easy, sorry, Pep would have done it with that Barcelona team.
Like, Pep was very close. I mean, they lost in the semi-final to Inter Milan with a handball ruling out a goal that maybe shouldn't have been ruled out in the semi-final.
I don't know. Josie had him
Margins.
over. Josie had him over in that in the game.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did.
but
He got
he
it.
did, but this is an
That
injury time
sounds
goal
like a
that was
City
ruled
fan
out.
talking that. Oh, it was an handball. He was unlucky. He wasn't.
It's factual.
He got tactically outmanoeuvred by Jose
He did,
Mourinho.
but they scored in the 90th.
You can't go, oh, it was an handball. That's why he didn't do it.
And we knocked them out obviously in the semi-final. Slightly different team then, but that would have been they could have done 08.
Yeah, that'd have been
09.
right.
But that's Rijkaard, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the team, I mean, is
Yeah,
largely,
My point is like
similar.
Pep.
Oh, Pep himself.
I'm
yeah.
talking about Pep
Yeah.
against Zidane. Pep couldn't do what Zidane's done, and Pep for me, probably had a slightly better team. That team's mint, but I'd say that the Barcelona team that Pep had
Yeah.
is
You got
arguably
Messi
better.
breaking like world record
Yeah.
goal scoring
Xavi
pretty
and
much every
Iniesta.
year.
I mean,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I don't think that team's getting the credit it deserves. I think the balance in that midfield three, Modric, this is like, what, 8 years ago even? Modric at the time was world class.
Yeah.
Toni Kroos was world class. Casemiro was world class. That's a world class midfield three. The problem is that people are going to go, well, he won 3 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. He could definitely do that at United. As if like McTominay and Fred look like Casemiro and Kroos to anybody.
No, you're right. No, I'm not expecting that. I just think like when you look at that team, which is obviously very good, what he's achieved with it, 2 La Ligas and 3 Champions League.
All it shows to me, Jay,
That is a
is
talented
Rafa
manager.
Benitez is a shit manager.
Well, is that the problem then? That no one thinks he can replicate what he had there? And you look at the sort of the disses or the things that people bring up against Zidane, it's he relied on individual brilliance. He isn't tactically capable.
God, you hear that all the time, man.
But that's what I'm saying. It's all the same things people throw at Ollie now.
Yeah.
But obviously he's won
People
3
have been
Champions
saying that
Leagues
about
and 2 leagues.
Fergie if Twitter was a thing
Yeah, but the
in
thing is,
99.
it works when you're winning.
It's just Giggsy getting him out of jail.
But when you aren't winning, does he have that sort of tactical solidity, that fundamentals to fall back on when things aren't going well?
Right, let's say it right. Here's what he's not. He's not a system coach,
Yeah.
which seems to be extremely popular at the moment, where you have to have a style of play which has a funky German name, right? And
Yeah.
if you don't have a funky German name, then it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that's the case. I mean, that's
German name. Yeah.
Lagenfluten.
Lagenfluten. Hausen and Fleisen.
It's not Lagenfluten. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. There is a lot of that.
Gengenpressing or something, isn't it? It's the flavour of the month.
Yeah, so, I mean, we're talking about gegenpressing for a while and how Ralph Rangnick sort of popularised it and how like Jurgen Klopp has took it to a level. Pep also has took a lot of influence from it. But it was called hunting football in the 70s.
We were talking about this before, weren't we? Yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson had teams that pressed, but because we didn't call it pressing, I don't know what the fuck they would have called it, but they put teams under pressure. There was there's a whole thing about you never letting a player get his head up. They might be able to take a touch, but they're not getting their head up before they're getting tackled.
No.
Ultimately, that's pressing. And you said it, didn't you?
wait.
Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez. What the fuck did you think they were doing?
Remember us against Barcelona where we didn't let him breathe?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We were all
That's
over him
pressing-
from the
pressing
front.
football.
Yeah. And yet no one's going, oh, Fergie's playing a high press.
But so then you think Zidane has done enough, has got enough? Because why do you think he's like a lot of people, and again, I'm not quoting percentages or whatever, but just based on what you see on my Twitter, which is obviously curated to me, but that's what you see.
Yeah.
I would say there would be
Very organic, Joe's
50-50-ish, 50-50-ish between people who would like Rodgers or Zidane. And when you're comparing what they've both done as a manager and obviously as a player, there's no comparison. But like, it's not as though people at the minute, like you said, are so obsessed with a system and a style. And is this person tactically aware that they will sort of forego any history or you know, proven track record that Zidane's got to the point where he's like fourth favourite?
I mean, he like you were saying, Steve, like about he had a system that worked so well that we didn't really need to change it, did he? 4-3-3, there was that midfield and that attack as well.
Joe, if we're going to do a deep dive on Zidane, let's look at the clangers. Did he get beat 5-0 ever?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? These are what you need to look at. What did he do badly, and how did he recover from that? Because that's how you see what a manager's made of.
And also, what I like about Zidane, didn't he hold the Real Madrid board to account a little bit as well? He's like, right, I've had enough of this, I'm going. Do you know what I mean? Which we need someone who's going to be a little bit like that, not just go, okay then, Mr. Woodward, I'll do as I'm told. And Zidane has that gravitas as well, and the respect to the players that perhaps Rodgers might not have. He might, but he might not. I don't think anyone's sort of not listening to what Zidane's got to say.
Well, yeah, on that, there are the rumours again coming out of MEM, which again, you know,
Which
say
are
what you want
rumours
about
with a
reliability,
capital
but
R.
I'm saying rumours for a reason.
Fresh out of the Dog and Duck pub.
Yeah, that
Shit a
Ronaldo
wall.
has privately sort of expressed keenness for Zidane. He'd like him, and that goes to your point of, do they respect him?
Yeah.
Rodgers, maybe not. Ole, hopefully, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Zidane, he's won it all as a manager, won it all as a player.
Yeah.
If you're going to respect anyone, that's right up there, isn't it? You see there, like, first of all, do you think that's true? Second of all, do you think it's true, as in, do you believe it to be true outside of whether you think Ronaldo's actually said that?
I mean, I'm no disrespect to the writer there, but if you look at his title, was it Northwest Football Trends writer?
What
No,
the fuck?
I don't know what that moniker is.
The game is absolutely gone.
I'm not disrespecting him because obviously he's doing his job, but I don't know where he's got his sources from that Cristiano Ronaldo's privately expressed anything.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not, you know.
He's privately expressed milk. And that is true. I've seen that happen. He did it on the bus.
There isn't a rumour I could hear about Ronaldo where I'd say I'm not buying that. You can literally tell me he sleeps in a UV light and some sort of mixture gel like the Matrix of an evening to
So one of
maintain
them red
his
pods.
youth. Exactly, yeah. And I'll go, I can see that.
Is that true? Does it? You've got mates who know him.
Yeah, exactly, Steve.
That's your way of telling us, isn't it?
He lives in a pod.
Does it?
But that thing of the players respecting him, do
Yeah.
you think Zidane has that? Ronaldo, obviously, in particular, won all three of those Champions Leagues.
Jay's going to understand what I'm about to say. It is my understanding,
Oh, here we go.
you know what that means, don't
Yeah, yeah.
you? That article's bang on.
Interesting.
The
It is my
Northwest Football Trends guys, right?
I'm going to try it as well. It is my understanding that you better tell us some more details.
Sources close to the action, the story.
But again, go on then. So tell it, what do you mean? So you think it's probably fair to say that Ronaldo likes Zidane?
It is my understanding,
Okay.
Joe.
Yeah, we get it.
We know right from his
That's
quotes
accurate.
let me put it this way. Yeah? Let me put it to you this way.
Okay.
We know from his quotes after Champions League finals and stuff, people have been digging them out, how well he spoke about Zidane. Do you think he still feels that same reverence that he felt then?
My understanding that
Yeah.
he doesn't like playing the two-man midfield, defensive midfielders, and thinks Zidane would be a good appointment, is my understanding.
That's nicely
Interesting.
put. So that's
All
that's
right.
as good as from Ronaldo's mouth.
Based on your understanding, how much effect does that have on things?
Fucking loads, I would
you think?
imagine. I can't believe... This is what makes me think Zidane's not having it, because he's a brilliant PR appointment, and we know that United love a PR appointment.
Yeah.
I mean, how many followers has he got
He's
on
like, I was
Instagram?
gonna say, he's like
Probably
a big
loads.
signing, isn't he?
Yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
someone like, who are they talking about? So, like Rodgers, let's say. Yeah, he's a well-known name, but he's not Zinedine Zidane. He played for like...
Do you know, that's
Hucknall
what
Town or
attracts me a little bit about Zidane. You would be massively excited if we got Zidane.
Yeah.
It would be like, wow, we've got Zidane, this is mint.
I know why you want him.
Go on.
Because every Frenchman we've ever had's been awesome.
Oh, bald. The
another-
bald
yeah.
mafia. Well, it would be nice
You want
to have
another
a
one
proper
on
bald
team.
We've never had an issue with French people.
No, that's true. Fact.
Not one.
No.
Not one tiny issue. Not even a bit of an issue with a
Schneiderlin?
contract about Pogba.
No.
No, perfect.
No, it's great
Prunier,
midfielder.
perfect.
But do you think that does...
Bartes, perfect.
do you
I'm
think
bald.
Yeah,
Yep.
Blanc,
Hey.
perfect. Do you think that does
Was Bellion,
have
was he
weight
French?
then?
David
I'm
Bellion.
perfect.
Yeah, I'm
Perfect.
bald.
Beautiful man.
And obviously Louis Saha.
Louis Saha.
Yeah, you can't turn over, who's all right, I guess. But
Oh, all right.
no, Louis Saha.
Zaha's the one.
Can't mention them in the same breath as David Bellion.
Or Obertan.
Yeah,
Or
sort your head
Obertan,
out.
sorry, Obertan.
Or William Prunier.
So Ronaldo's coming in, and he's telling people what's what. Do you think?
Can I
Do
ask,
you actually
can
think
I,
that's
can I ask
happening?
one question,
Go
a
on.
different
I
question?
think Ronaldo's got a hell of a lot to swing.
Has Ronaldo's attitudes changed, you feel, from a few weeks ago?
No idea.
So when he came in, he wasn't singing Zidane's
No
praising. Now is he? Do you know?
No idea.
So you don't know if he's singing Zidane's praises?
No idea, but I believe he likes him.
Right.
And I have no idea whether he's told United that he likes him.
Okay.
But
Do you remember though when
But he's
Jose
told
was
that
manager?
Northwest
And
Trent
I think it was
writer he likes him.
yeah. He rang him this morning. Custis was in the press conference, and Jose was asked about Zidane taking over from him, and he told the journalist to turn around and ask Custis. Do you remember? He went to turn around and ask him because he'd ran the story that Zidane wouldn't come to United. That United wanted him to take over Jose, and he wouldn't have it.
So this is what's
I
made
mean,
me think
the big operative word there is Custis, whether you want to believe what he's got to say or not, and that's up to you.
he's a good follow if he's not blocked you. If he
When he's arguing with
when he argues
at
with,
restaurant
like-
managers and hoteliers and all that.
so tempted to just. I mean, he's blocked me already, so I can't. But I'm so tempted. Joe, he's one of those that just like change my name to like Virgin Trains.
Yeah, or the Marriott.
And be like, why don't you fuck off? And watch him have a fucking meltdown.
I'll change it into the Athletic. He hates the Athletic, doesn't he? He's always moaning about the
If anyone
Athletic.
doesn't know who you're on about,
Neil Custis, who writes for a paper that we would never buy.
He was who Louis van Gaal called the Fat Man.
Yeah, they had a challenge, didn't they? That he was
Hey,
gonna lose
fat
more,
man.
more pounds than he'd get points or something. But I think that
Lasted
challenge went
about-
out the window.
About half an hour, I think,
Yeah.
for a photo shoot.
what were you about to say then about?
Oh, Zidane. I could be wrong here because I obviously have zero inside insight on what's going on here.
So that means you know.
but,
We can read between the lines,
imagine.
Stephen.
No, I have nothing on this. I imagine United must have sounded him out because he makes so much sense. I think he's an Adidas athlete. Like someone gets a bonus if that happens.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Obviously, there's a big love from Paul Pogba for him, so that could help sort that situation out. He's an enormous name. He's won a load of stuff. This makes all the right sense for Ed Woodward, should we say, and the United hierarchy that just loves shiny shit. So the fact that it hasn't happened, or we're still mentioning Brendan fucking Rodgers, means that he's said, yeah, nah.
Is that what you think?
I gotta think that
What-
because
no
otherwise,
offense,
why-
I can sort of understand that as well because for him,
Really?
Yeah.
How though?
because
What leg has he
we're a
got to stand on?
shambles.
Yeah, but
And
who's
his
he gonna manage?
stock's riding high. He's probably got half an eye on the French job, which if he takes this job, he isn't doing.
So
So,
shit though, innit?
well,
If he
he's
takes
going to
over
go to France, right, where he's revered.
They're
He's got
favourites for everything.
He's got a great squad. He hasn't got to worry about transfers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Comes to United, where he's got a squad he's going to have to improve. He hasn't got, as you
He's
said,
got to
he hasn't-
Google on fucking google.fr what is a McTominay.
Yeah, what is
Like-
this? Like, yeah, he's got to
He's-
deal with all
he's
that.
doing it the Pep way.
Yeah.
Where just take over the best team in the country and keep them pretty good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't we all want to do that?
Yeah, and it's like, he hasn't really got much to prove, and it's coming to United. It could sort of diminish his luster a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. Obviously, as a United fan, I think you should always any manager should want to come to United with the biggest club in the world.
I can't believe Nagelsmann.
He should want to come, but I just don't. I just wouldn't be surprised if he's looking at it going, that club is a mess. They've been a mess for a good at least 8 years, if not longer. Just Fergie sort of papered over it. Why would I want to go there where I can just wait 18 months or a year, whatever, take over from the Champs and just manage an amazingly talented bunch of
Probably
footballers,
win a World Cup.
in front of a nation that absolutely adores me, no matter what I do anyway.
We've got a few super chats. Mr. Gavin said, if we'd signed Shearer in 96, we would have more European Cups, but maybe not a treble. I think we would have maybe won it 2000,
We
2001.
might have had a treble.
Oh,
That's possible.
I don't know.
He did have a few injuries, didn't he, though?
I always think, the
Yeah, he did.
one sort of signing, or not even a signing, the sale that I think cost us Champions League was Stam. I think Stam stays, we get another Champions League between 99 and 08.
Do you know what a mad sliding doors moment is?
Go
When Zizou went to Juventus, Johan Cruyff had him signed for Barcelona.
Really? I didn't know that.
They had him signed and the board said no.
Amazing.
Cruyff no.
Imagine that. Like, imagine the board
Well,
saying
yeah,
to you, Johan Cruyff,
yeah.
you've got one of the greatest players ever. No.
Well, then you think about it. He was right, because obviously Zidane was his club. So,
That's like when Everton stopped Howard Kendall signing Dion Dublin.
Yeah, same thing. Juan Martinez
What might
says,
have been.
nothing will really change with the Glazers here wanting fourth each year, but hopefully Zidane can tell Pogba to try harder or leave. Great show, boys. We'll come back to the Glazers in just a minute. Chris Tadulu says, without sounding dramatic, I'm losing my enthusiasm for United. We'll never stop supporting the club, but the Glazers have zero ambition to win titles.
I understand
I
that.
feel that.
We've been here for 16 fucking years,
yeah.
mate.
Well,
No, but I understand that. There's nothing wrong with
International
saying
break,
I lose my. get jaded with football in general
Yeah.
when you see what's going on.
Yeah.
You think, oh God.
Yeah.
Well, you still go, don't you? It's got it on you, it's the law.
Glenn B, hope all is well, lads. Love the channel.
I do talk
I love
to
you
my
all.
wife.
One question: you're having a dinner party with 3 people. Who are you bringing? Dead or alive? First of all,
alive people, I'd say.
dead. No, I go dead. I'll just have
So you don't have to talk to them.
just dead Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Dead Gandhi.
Yeah.
Dead Michael Owen.
I like that.
Yeah. I know he's still alive, but I think it'd be more fun if they're all dead.
Did you just threaten to kill Michael Owen?
I don't know.
No. The food will take care of that. My chef.
I reckon Gandhi and fucking Winston Churchill are getting on either.
Well, they're both dead. They won't say anything. Just me there with 3 dead blokes. Nothing wrong with that. He said dead or alive.
I'll have
No, go on.
Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and John Sessions just to lighten the mood.
Just to lighten the mood. No, really, who'd you have? Can we all agree on Sir Alex Ferguson?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've got Alex Ferguson. I don't want the other two. Then just, do you know what I mean?
All right, then Fergie.
They're taking time away from Sir Alex.
Yeah.
All right, then. Yeah, let's be top reds. Fergie, Busby, and Best.
Wow.
That'd be good.
Hey, that'd be a party, wouldn't it? Eh?
Yeah, but you get to pick which age, though. You get them.
Yeah. So you get like
20-year-old.
Busby's got to be 80s onwards because he's just a granddad.
yeah,
Right.
Busby,
Can't have
80
Busby in his 40s
80 onwards.
and Alex in his fucking 60s.
Fergie now and Best in his heyday.
Yeah.
23-year-old George
Oh,
Best.
mate, come
and he's
on.
late and he's brought 3 Miss Worlds with him.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with that?
I've
Right,
only
come on
actually
then.
got 3 tables around. Yeah, they'll be on my knee, don't worry. Just doing kick-ups with a Brussels sprout and everything. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
You've got to have Cantona.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got to have Cantona.
Do you know what? I don't know.
Someone is
I know.
had a fucking lunch date with Cantona.
I respect that. Respect that.
didn't take
fully.
a single photo.
Yeah.
That's
and just
elite.
fucking enjoyed
Imagine
it.
having an evening with Eric
Yeah.
On the
and
piss.
not taking. I know, and not taking a picture.
Sharing a bottle of wine
Very
with
cool.
Eric
That might be the
Cantona.
coolest
I
thing
think-
you ever are
I
going to
think
do
it
in
is.
your
Of course.
life.
Yeah.
It's literally on our list of like 3 people in the world you could meet, and I've done it.
You sent me that text or whatever it was at midnight or whatever, and I didn't get to sleep till like 4 a.m. I was just sat there like that.
I was debating just going in every bar in town to find you.
staring at that text.
Oh,
like, how is
imagine
this
finding
happening?
you lot in here.
Yeah.
Fucking 90-second bar I've walked in.
Daniel Kirk says, check Zidane 2020 league winner side. It was not as good and he still won. Yeah, it was, but by then Barcelona were just a load of biscuits in a tub of water.
Nice. I like that.
Someone was making a point before about the Glazers. Let's move on
I don't know, I
slightly,
ain't finished
shall
my
we?
dinner party.
Oh,
Go on
well,
then.
you
Yeah,
did.
he's
you
on-
said,
he
you
was
said
on.
Cantona.
No, I just agreed. But Cantona,
Go on.
obviously.
Yeah.
With his dick in his pants, though.
Okay,
Right.
You seen that photo last week?
Yeah.
I'm just Google that.
Yeah. Google it. It's on your favourites.
Google it.
Should be. Should be screensaver. It's mine. Go on.
Yeah, I think Cantona and Busby.
Why would you have Cantona when you've met him?
Because we
Why
didn't
would
have
you
dinner.
not? If you could go have something like someone you've
Because,
never. Imagine
nah,
saying that. Yeah, I get it.
We
'cause
didn't
I've
have dinner,
seen-
and I
yeah.
think there's levels to what he was. It was like, did you go to that show that he did at the Lowry?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
Don't get me
Was
started.
you equally
Don't get me
annoyed with
started.
the guy interviewing him?
I don't like
Oh
to
my
throw shade at
God.
people because he was
But yeah.
trying his best, but
Absolutely,
he
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, he didn't control the crowd. It sort of became a Q&A halfway through when people started shouting out questions,
So
and he didn't know what to do. I felt a bit.
what gripped my shit in a big way was like Cantona was going on like the most heartfelt monologue talking about the future of football and how he wants under 21s to be protected at games because you lose the youth and you use the game and it was honestly I was nearly in tears just like if he's like and we're gonna start a cult today I'm like I'm in like and then the guy was like what do you feel like getting sent off at Sellers Park and you're like die you fucking prick.
Yeah, there's going to be some of that, though, isn't there? In those things.
So I want Cantona to finish what he was saying.
Yeah. So what, carry on where you were. We should start with that.
Busby,
Yeah.
because anything I've seen, you seen like Parkinson with
Yeah.
Busby and stuff like that. It's sensational.
Yeah.
Even talking about Munich and everything like that, it's incredible. It's incredible listening, and I wanna listen to Samat Busby talk about that. I want to listen to him talk about his vision for football. And obviously, I'd love to see his interactions with Sir Alex. I know that all 3 of those lads work together ultimately, and I'd love to see where the overlaps are and where the differences are between them and their thoughts on the game.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Go on.
Would you ask him to come and coach Paddock FC for a session?
Who, Cantona?
Busby.
No.
You'd mention
he's
it, though.
old. He's
You'd
old.
mention it.
Fergie, I would.
Come down.
Hey, what are you doing on Thursday night, 9 o'clock?
Peter Kelly says, Jay, we would have won the Champions League in 04 if the linesman did his job right. Stan would have helped that year, but the linesman screwed us over. That's true. That is true. Let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about some news that's been coming out this afternoon. And this is from Sky Sports. So I'll read this. Manchester United close to agreeing a fan share scheme. Under the plans, an initial... What's that word? Tranche?
Yeah, tranche.
Tranche of approximately $10 million of special shares would be issued and reserved for United fans, Sky News understands. Sky's learnt that the club and Manchester United Supporters Trust are at advanced stages of talks about the initiative. Under the plans, which remain subject to change, the New York Stock Exchange company would issue an initial tranche of shares owned by the supporters. Here's the crucial bit.
Twice in one article, they've used the word tranche.
Tranche.
You're going to have to Google it now.
These shares will be structured as a new class of equity carrying the same voting rights as the B shares class owned by the members of the Glazer family. The B shares, and therefore the new fan shares, carry 10 times the voting rights as the ordinary A shares, held by most investors. One source said the initial tranche under the scheme could be in the region of $10 million, although the number is yet to be finalised. The intention would be to issue further and potentially larger tranches, again, so many tranches in this, of shares in subsequent years, depending on demand from United fans. Your initial thoughts, Stephen?
Well, having now remembered that weirdly the B class are better than the A class.
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, I think they're worth the same. I don't think you can buy one or the other because the B class just aren't for sale.
No, the A class are the ones that are on the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah.
So if you just go and buy United shares, you're getting
That's
A
what you
class,
get.
and it's a tenth of the voting rights. So if you had $1 million worth of shares, let's say you had 5% of the shares, you get 0.5 of the voting right.
Yeah.
So you get ignored, essentially.
Yes.
Whereas if you've got 5 million of B class shares, you get 5% of the vote or whatever it was. So it's interesting that they're giving the fans the B class of shares. But what, 10 million quid on a company worth 4 billion?
Well, here's the thing.
That's a token gesture, isn't it?
Based on some sort of quick maths that I did a few minutes ago. In terms of the value of B class shares, assuming they are the same value in terms of price as the A class shares, which as far as I could see there was no difference to speak of, you just can't buy them. The Glazers own about 2 billion quid's worth of B class shares, right? There is then another...
Hang on, I think that's Jay.
Breather.
Normally, I'm the breather.
Jay's breathing. He's been running about. There is then another 650 million quid's worth of A class shares available. Right. Yeah. So the ones they're about to sell to United fans is $10 million worth of B class shares, which 10 million as a percentage of 2 billion is about 0.5%.
Right. Okay.
So in terms of this,
0.5%.
Yeah, 0.5%.
Yeah.
So it isn't much, is what I'm saying. Maybe they're putting it based on what they think the demand will be. Maybe, like they said, they're talking about doing more and more and more of these. But to have any sort of significant voting rights, we need sort of 30 or 40 of these types of schemes back to back, to get 10, 15, 20% maybe.
But miles off.
Yeah.
Basically, Joe, if I make you a sandwich and I make it of shit and I put on that sandwich 0.5% ham, are you willing to call that a ham sandwich?
Well, the thing is, I do like ham. But the sandwich might taste like shit, eh? Just thought about that.
99.5% of it is going to be shit. However, there is 0.5 ham on there. Is that a ham
But again,
sandwich?
just to be clear with everyone,
point.
I'm not particularly well versed in stocks. I'm not particularly, if there's other shares cost more or less, I'm not entirely sure. That's based on what I can see from public information of how much they own and how much that relates to in terms of the price of
I'll be
United
interested to see the response. I don't
Not
know if it's
even
I don't know if
1%,
it's out there yet. I don't know if Must have responded. I don't know if some of the people that are involved in the fans group have responded. It does seem a little bit sort of like a token gesture, but you could argue it's a step towards something more substantial. It's just, forgive me for not getting excited about 0.5% because it does feel like we said we were going to do that.
That number is...
We said we were going to do that and we've ticked that box. But if this is heading towards something where we can have a real say in the running of the club rather than just this, then I'm all for that. Because I do understand as well, and I do sympathise with some of the people that are trying to make this happen from the fans' point of view, not from the Glazer side of view, because it's not like they can just go in, kick over a few tables and everything's sorted for them.
Have we tried kicking the tables?
Well, that is, that's a fair shout.
Let's kick some tables.
Yeah, but it's just, it does feel like when you hear that, you just go,
I don't doubt your maths, Joe.
Yeah.
And I think you're probably accurate on that. And I understand, that must have worked extremely hard.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
to
knocking
get this
that.
0.5.
Yeah.
But honestly, from the club's point of view, and I also understand that if the club was like, we're going to sell 50% of the shares, the share price would be affected probably negatively by doing that, I imagine. So they probably have to. Jay, honestly, you're like Darth
Breathing
Vader.
quite
Sorry,
significantly.
sorry, I did have to run off somewhere and come back, and I'm still recovering.
I think they must have done a really good job to
Yeah.
get 0.5. So I don't want to besmirch. The
No,
good
this
work
is
of
no
Must.
knock on that.
Yeah,
the
obviously,
Glazers
'cause
have-
I think I've seen it a
honestly.
lot online. People going, "Oh, these fan groups are in the pockets of Glazers and all that," and they're not. I know some of them involved, and they're trying their best.
Yeah.
And they're doing it because they love the club, not because they're getting anything out of it. It's a proper thankless
They've
task.
been shafted here.
Honestly, I would not want to do what they do.
I did see someone else, there was a quote at the bottom of this article, which is from Sky, and this was earlier today. It was Lord O'Neill, which I'm not entirely sure who that is. Is a Goldman Sachs economist and hedge fund manager. Thoughts? He said that it seems a very minimalist token gesture.
Right, okay.
I
Well,
agree
that's
with-
how
I
I
agree
have
with our
contacted.
with our Lord.
We had Kieran Maguire on the channel, who's a football financial expert.
Got a good book and all.
Yep, exactly. Speaking about all this, well, not all this, but speaking about the Glazers and ownership, I've messaged him, so we'll try and get him on.
Can we get Ian on?
Ian Sterling, yeah, we'll reach out. We've had Ian on before. We'll get Must on, and we'll
Yeah.
get Kieran on to explain this, because I'm like you, Joe. I don't understand any of this.
Yeah.
You know, Steve doesn't know what tranche is. I'm with him on that one. I think it's explained in the film The Big Short. I think
Which I've seen twice.
Margot Robbie explains it in a bubble bath, if memory serves.
And if not, just let's go watch Margot Robbie in a bubble bath.
There you go.
And we'll solve all of this Glazer shit.
But we get the experts on, we'll ask them.
Yeah, an interesting point as well on the United website talking about this. The proposed share scheme would involve a new class of shares, each with the same high vote rights as the B shares held by the Glazer family. What they don't mention is they own 1 million times more than the fans will. But again, it's something. It's a start. And like you said, the work done by Must and all that side of things isn't what's being questioned.
Is that's going to go down? Right, we all decided that we're going to fucking shaft the fans and continue to fucking keep doing it and run Old Trafford into the ground. Yeah. That's the fans what they're thinking. Yeah, we think you're a load of twats. Okay, motion carried.
Yeah,
Like-
it does feel like a little bit like part of the problem with
Oh,
it.
did your
with-
0.5 new do fuck all?
Yeah,
It might mean that we get a fan rep on the board, though.
yeah.
That'd be good. They said that. Chelsea did that, didn't they? And then
No,
there was-
they found a guy to sit in the corner of the boardroom while they were having meetings, I think.
Yeah,
Well, that's
no,
all it's ever going to be, though, isn't it? Why would the Glazers, from their perspective, do
Don't
that?
nominate me, and I'll make some changes.
Yeah,
I
I'm
might
worried
also
about
be
that.
arrested,
Yeah,
but I will make some changes.
yeah. It's going to be like, you know that scene on The Matrix when he puts the big bags through the metal detectors, it's just it's just full of guns, and they're like, you got to stop. It's like, no, that'd be that, wouldn't it? So
throw
you've
a
got
chair
something
at
in your
someone.
pocket. I know I have. I've got 20 more of them dotted around this room as well, all pointing at you, mate. Let's move on. Roy Keane left fuming by embarrassing Harry Maguire celebration
Was he
after
fuming?
England.
I think he was like a 3 out of 10.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, Harry Maguire scored the other day against Albania.
the mighty Albania.
The mighty Albania scored a header, as he tends to do for England. He's got like a sort of Diego Costa type goal scoring record for England. He's very good.
Joe, how many times I need to tell you this? International football is fucking shite.
Yeah, of course. But he scored, and then he celebrated like this. I'm not just like, block it out. The haters, screw the haters. It's me. I love myself. I'm doing really well. Now, some people didn't like that, including former Manchester United captain, don't know if you've heard of him, Roy Keane, who said as follows: when a player scores and puts his hands to his ear like he's shutting the critics up, but I think that's embarrassing. He's been a disgrace to Man United. He scores. He thinks he scores. He thinks he scores there. He shut these critics up. Embarrassing. Do you agree with any of that?
All of it.
Do you? What do you reckon?
I reckon Roy Keane fucking hit it so hard on the head with his hammer, there's nothing left to talk about. Roy Keane said it all.
Why is it embarrassing? Because from my perspective, I just don't care.
Yeah, I was a little bit like.
Obviously,
you
he's
know what? You know what
questioned
annoyed me
about it, he has
more
to
about
answer,
that. You know what annoyed me more about it, because I was a bit late to it. I didn't see it at the time. I saw it like an hour later or whatever. I was watching the highlights, or the second half, and then they showed it at half time. I wasn't that forced. I sort of get where Keane was coming from, but what annoyed me was after the game when Harry Maguire was like trying to act like he hadn't done what he'd done. And I think if you're going to do that, if you're going to say it, if you're going to do it, just say it. Say,
Tell
do you know
him
what?
fuck off afterwards.
Yeah, say, you know what? I'm sick of all the stick I'm getting. I've scored for my country, so that was to all the haters out there. Jog on. But he didn't. He went, oh, it was just a knee slide and it wasn't aimed at anyone. And I think, now you're being beige again.
Fanny.
Now you're being beige again.
You
Harry.
absolute fan.
You've
Do you
just
know
shown
what?
a bit of something,
Do you know why it's
personality-wise, and now
embarrassing?
you're going backwards.
Is because none of the criticism was Harry Maguire doesn't score headers against Albania, right? And if it had have been, he's well within his rights to do a knee slide and be like, what are you saying now, fuckers? Right? But no one's ever said Harry Maguire can't score headers against Albania.
That's the one thing with him he just doesn't do, isn't it? He just
Yeah.
doesn't score headers
Headers
against Albania.
And
However,
that is why we bought him as well, for starters. That's why we spent 80 million quid.
now if he'd have, I don't know, defended his fucking front post correctly, maybe he could have fucking been like, how's about some of that? Because that's what you've been getting criticised for, pal, is your one-to-one defending. Don't judge defenders on the fact that they can score headers, right? Otherwise, we'd be talking about Steve Bruce being the greatest fucking defender of all time. He's just in the top 5 otherwise. So the fact that you score a goal and think that does anything in itself is an issue. Shouldn't have had the United captaincy in the first place. Roy Keane's right, you're a fucking embarrassment.
Who should have had it?
Well, this is a problem that we have at the club. There's an abject lack of characters, leadership and integrity.
But is that not sort of part of the kind of get Ollie out and we'll work out who the next manager is after type mentality of
Is there any part of you,
I don't know who should.
Just to play devil's advocate, I've told you I wasn't particularly bothered. Is there any part of you that feels like he's had a tough time of it, he's going under, he's just a release, in a heat of the moment celebration, and he's done something probably he shouldn't have done, but you know what?
Own it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Don't be like...
Say it with your chest out.
It was just a knee slide. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, no it wasn't aimed at anyone. It obviously was.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. And this is the problem. Just an abject lack of fucking character and backbone.
Yeah.
And he's meant to be Manchester United. You go from Brian fucking Robson to fucking Eric Cantona and Roy Keane and this.
Bruce.
Young. This.
Tony B.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. Of course, and the thing is, it's just
Can
one
you
of those things
imagine
for me
even
where I
Brian
just
Robson
don't mind.
sliding on his knees and cupping his ears? No, because Brian Robson embodied the fucking people who were playing.
And this is why I don't like. What I don't like is this narrative of Keane's picking on Maguire.
Oh no, I don't
he's not. He's an ex-United captain, arguably the greatest ever captain we've had. We can. That's another debate we can have over Robert or him later. But he's got every right to look at a Manchester United captain that he sees not performing to the standards that he performed to, the standards that you should expect from Manchester United captain, and then doing celebrations against Albania like he's just won the World Cup. He's every right to question that. Now, you might not agree with Roy Keane, but this idea that he's got a vendetta against him or that he shouldn't be saying, or he's not entitled to his opinion about Harry Maguire is nonsense.
Yeah.
And I don't buy into it that Roy Keane's performing for the cameras. I think this is genuine the way he is.
Also, it's his job.
Yeah. What do you want him to
he's
say?
asked
Oh,
about
I
it.
think this is amazing that Harry Maguire, for me, for everyone, has won everyone over now with that goal. And I think he's every right to
Close
put
your
fingers
eyes
in his
and try
ears.
and imagine Roy Keane knee sliding and cupping his ears to anyone.
Roy Keane, that's the opposite. But Roy Keane had to be dragged onto the pitch in '99 to collect his winner's medal. That's what he's about.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's absolutely has the highest standards probably of any footballer, in the modern era.
The guy still thinks he didn't win the fucking Champions League because he missed the one game where they award the medals.
Exactly. Like
Which basically the rest of the squad missed for 90 minutes as well. Like, no one played in that game.
No.
Yeah.
And it's like, you look at John Terry example, puts his kit on, his shin pads, go and collects a trophy. Roy Keane has to be dragged on there in
Did he
his
have shin
suit.
pads on?
Yeah, he had shin pads on.
No, he didn't.
you don't
I
know
never
that?
knew that.
Yeah,
I knew he had his kit on, which was already stupid. He had a shin pad in case someone kicked him on the way up the stairs.
To look the part in it. To look the
That's
full
so
caboodle.
embarrassing.
I
I
wonder if he did a knee slide to get a bit muddy, to
Shin
look
pads
authentic.
on. Yeah.
You non-sweaty fucking fraud of
That's
a man.
funny, that is funny. AK
Bone dry, not even fucking ran anywhere. Fucking did he have his fucking GPS vest on underneath it as well?
Misted him.
You absolute fucking sausage.
Got a bit of mist on before it, so it looked
You
like I've been sweating.
You fucking tomato sauce advertising fucking crybaby.
Is that true?
The guy's cried more than he's won stuff.
That is good.
That's probably accurate. He's racially abused a few people as well, hasn't
He has done that.
he? Along the way.
AK says tactics
Allegedly.
have been poor. But
Cried in court as well when he got done for something.
Which time in court was
I'm
that?
not sure which time in court it was.
You have to narrow it down.
He also, didn't he fucking cry when he was saying that they sang songs about my mum loving Scouse cock?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
what
We're entering
fucking
allegedly
lie.
territory.
Yeah, I
No,
think we
no.
should put allegedly in
AK
there,
says
because
Ollie
we
has-
are getting a bit murky.
Ollie
here.
has till the winter break,
Show's gone downhill.
but Zidane and Rodgers are quick fixes. Maybe Poch, but
Oh,
not
God,
them.
no. No.
He's-
No.
Do you know what? My granddad, who I'm shocked has watched RB Leipzig at any fucking level, was like, what's that Julian lad called? I was like, Lopatelli. And he was like, no, German one.
Nagelsmann.
Not Julian. Nagelsmann. And he was like, yeah, the Leipzig coach. I was like, manager's Bayern Munich. He went, since when? I was like, summer. And he was like, oh, forget it then.
He's
I was
done
like,
well. I mean,
what
no
was you gonna say?
disrespect, but that's like you say, he's even aware of RB Leipzig. He's good.
And it was like, why? And he was like, he's good, should get him.
He's good. But Bayern Munich.
I was like, was it Bayern Munich now? And he was like,
We're
"Oh,
better.
Don't fucking worry
We're
about it."
bigger. Who won in '99? Us.
Not them, that's for sure.
Exactly.
I remember that
Eh?
much. Jay, do you have a Wally of the week?
Yeah, I do. Kind of
Could
completely.
you tell us?
Oh, do you know what? Why am
I remember yours, Steve. What's yours?
Aaron Maguire.
Doubling down.
Do you know what? No.
Yeah. Do you know what? I hate
England
to be.
have to secure a point tonight. You're playing a load of part-time milkmen, for fuck's sake. Let's stop talking about it like it's any sort of achievement. International football's dead, and international football killed it.
I'm going to go.
No power at the stadium. Oh no, what an upset.
Oh, God. Hey, nightmare.
Large banger at San Marino Stadium. Was it fucking reality coming and knocking on the fucking door that they're not very good?
Nice.
I'm
going to go with Andrew Marr.
And
Andrew Marr?
Yeah.
what from?
The BBC, political reporter.
Oh.
Interviewer.
Did he go to GB News?
No, he should do, though. He's a waste of space.
Oh, by the way, if you work for GB News, stop ringing me. I will never appear on your fucking channel.
They
Yeah.
asked you to what? Come
I
talk
don't
about
know if it's 'cause-
immigration, foreigners.
I don't know what the fuck they want me
What
to
is
talk
it?
about.
Oh, God.
They've asked me to talk about all sorts, and I will not work for you or the fucking Sun, ever. Fuck off.
Well said.
It's GB News. You just click that and send it to at GB News on Twitter. Why Andrew Marr then? What's he done?
Oh, because he does it all the time when he has the Tories on and they're in a scandal, and he just he doesn't ask. He asks them a question, they don't answer it, and he just moves on. And it's just, what's the point? You hold them to account. This is why the country's in the state it's in, because you've not got the media holding politicians to account. So when they have him in the studio, when you've got someone there and you can ask him about the scandal, about all the sleaze that the Tories are going through, about the second jobs they've got, about Owen Patterson, about all that, you ask him, they ignore the question, and then you move on to something else like, oh, what are you having for your tea tonight? I'm like, how is this? Political journalism. Game's gone.
Fish fingers, chips and beans.
Good lad. At least you answered that one. That's an answer.
I'll answer the hard-hitting questions, Jay. And I ain't got one. I'll go Harry Maguire with you then. No, I didn't care.
Look at you ganging up on the United captain.
I didn't care that he did
you
that.
absolute pair.
To be honest, no.
No wonder all the comments say you're in a close pocket.
The honest truth is, I didn't care that he did that. It didn't bother me whatsoever. I don't think it's disrespectful. I don't think it's anything. It don't bother me. Well, I'm in the close pocket for saying Harry Maguire, which is what you said.
No, for not saying him. Bottled it.
No, I'll say the Glazers.
What day does that check come, by the way?
For it usually comes on the 14th, but it's not come yet. I don't know what I've done wrong. I'll say the Glazers for offering such a meagre tranche as the first sort of way to give the fans voting rights.
Today's word of the day is tranche.
Yeah, Google it, learn it, remember it. We're going to be hearing it probably quite a
Sam
few
fucking
times in the
Marino.
next few weeks.
Honestly.
Do you watch England? Do you like England? I know you did like watch-alongs and stuff, but I had a feeling that that was more from
I'll watch the games when
being
they're on.
coerced into it rather than a desire.
That was exactly what happened. I was like, what? I'm doing these, am I? Oh, fuck.
I'll just fax this one in then.
I mean, Joe, I really enjoyed getting drunk with Wes Brown. That was fun.
That's mint, that, to be fair. If you're going to watch England, getting drunk with Wes Brown's probably the best way to watch it.
That was good. He was good as well, to be fair to him.
Right.
Obviously, we had Rio on for the Scotland game. I got worried of that because he got drunk as fuck, by the way. Yeah, Sophie was pouring him some proper lockdown measures on his gins that he was having. He got well drunk.
Ginseng.
Who else do we have?
Me.
Joe
yeah,
Smith,
You went on that one, though. That was a great one, that. Phenomenal. Me and Will praise you.
I'm not a fucking fan of England. I'll watch them because obviously I need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I just kind of fucking sit there wishing I was watching Prison Break or something.
I know what you mean. I can get almost excited for some of the tournament games, but I'm not trying to be a top ready, but you do have that thing where, like, if Marcus is playing, you care more than if
obviously
Sterling.
I care about the United players playing for England a lot more than, especially in
at
these
least
games.
now this era isn't like your Terrys and your Gerrards and you absolute ones that
people
you just can't
hate.
stand.
Even like Jordan Henderson, who's like Liverpool captain.
He's
should hate him,
inoffensive.
I
He's
just
just
don't
beige,
care.
innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's not like the Gerrard.
I don't like him, but it's just nothing there.
That's what I mean. So it's not too bad watching this team, even though they are a bit
Robertson
boring.
could fuck off though.
Yeah, but he's
Who?
Robertson.
Andy Robertson,
Right, okay.
left back.
For England.
No,
just for
just
Liverpool.
in general.
Yeah.
Just if you ever see him, why don't you fuck off?
What was it he tweeted? Another one for the trophy
Oh,
cabinet.
another one of the fucking cabinet.
Has he even won anything since? He's won trophy since that. Hey,
Fucking
now back to the serious business of the Prem. Soz hard.
Yeah, that was it. What was that? The Club World Cup.
Yeah, just typical. Innit?
What a fucking comment is saying anyway. Who do we need to get mad about? I mean, I can get mad about John Terry again.
I don't think we need to get mad about anyone. Someone saying that Beckham flopped for England.
No, he didn't.
What the fuck are you talking about?
England flopped around Beckham.
All right, Joe. All right. Because I'm not arguing with you. You're a fucking idiot.
Anarchy Goose says that my Wally is Southgate for trying to defend Maguire. There you go.
Oh, Southgate can just
Someone agreeing with you on your views on GB News.
Yeah, they can fuck off. I don't know who gave me number.
Sorry.
But they...
About that.
Yeah, so we all did. Who gave GB News my number?
What have I told you
fucking
about
6 times.
any exposure?
Sorry, Steve. We all gave him your number. We thought they might like you.
You can fuck off. You can fuck off. And the Sun can fuck off.
And
all of them.
And on that note, we'll leave it there today.
Leave some comments. There's loads of people watching. Let's keep
Go on, then.
Steve's calling the viewers idiots. Let's not stop him.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Where's Bill Cosby from?
Where's he from? Isn't he from like
America.
Georgia or something like that?
No
or-
idea. Couldn't tell you.
Right, I'm not sure.
Okay.
The man on the right is in work, Sonny. Mortal Kombat 11. Are you in Mortal Kombat 11?
Nope.
There's a lot of people saying no Zidane. Why no Zidane? Because you give me the choice of Rodgers or Zidane, I'm learning French. Like, there's no two fucking ways around it. Southgate's a top manager. Let's piss off Steve.
Yeah, no,
Well,
I know
too
you're
obvious,
reading the
mate.
comments.
Philadelphia.
Done well with
No,
England, though.
Philadelphia.
You got to say that. Southgate's done well with England. Do you actually not think he has?
He's won one game
I know
that
you
he
think
shouldn't have.
What, the Germany game?
Yeah.
He still won it though, didn't
Right, so he's won one game he shouldn't have.
he? Right.
Well done.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Not one of you lot has said all he needs to go. I mean, we have though.
Cam says,
No,
producer
just-
Cam
just-
says
yeah,
progression.
Just watch some
We
of the
have,
videos
I
over
mean,
the last few weeks.
Yeah.
No one says what? What's he said?
None of us lot have said that Ollie isn't right for now.
Do you know what? I used to love these gags that we used to see. Like, someone's just saw Zidane around Chester looking for an house. For starters, it's an obvious blag because Chester's fucking miles away and no one wants to live there. So you wouldn't have seen Zidane looking for a house around Chester. If you'd said Hale or Alderley Edge, you might have a point. I used to love these. Like, because you'd throw them out all, just fucking saw Schneider in the Tesco in Stretford. Like,
Yeah, I used to love
I
that.
love those.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, people take that sort of shit if I say it now serious. So I can't say that sort of shit. But I love that. So maybe we have a bit of an in-joke. If you start seeing me saying, I've just seen Zidane with Robert Nero in
Buying
the s-
some
in
gloss
the
from B&Q
subway.
in
Yeah.
Altrincham.
Yeah.
People will go, he's
Who was
on
it
there.
that cash converters
Don't
at
tell anyone.
Salford
Don't
Shopping
tell anyone.
City?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
And they're trading his Champions League winners
There
medal.
was a moon under the water having an orange juice each. Zidane was lost on the way to the toilets.
Fantastic.
So there you go. Zidane, cash converters. You heard
Cash
it here
converters.
first.
Zora Zidane riding a donkey through Manchester City Centre. See, I know that's a lie. Because we have Shire horses, not donkeys.
That's true, yeah. That's true.
Dickhead.
For rent.
Get
those-
how are we
one of those
comparing
scooters.
Zidane to Pogba? Have a glass of rum or something. Hey, SS, did you watch them?
No, I think the thing you're saying that they both sort of flattered to deceive a bit for club.
Yeah.
Is that the point? Yeah. But my own point with that is, even though I don't agree with you about Zidane, I think there's a massive gulf, obviously, between what Pogba does and what
Because of the
Zidane does.
perception.
Yeah. No,
Because of the
between the
perception.
two though as well. Do you know what I mean?
Go and look how many fucking goals he provided. And he was a pure number 10. He never played as an 8 or as a deep line 6 or whatever. He was a pure number 10. Did fuck all.
And on that note, thank you very much for joining us for the Stretford
At least if you're
Paddock
going to say
podcast.
something, double down, say it with your chest
He's
out.
more than happy to
eh?
say that Zidane was...
Harry Maguire
was-
could take a leaf out of Stephen Alford's
Yeah,
ball.
you absolute
Yeah.
raging fan. You're going to wear the armband at Manchester United. You got to fucking wave it past your balls first and actually fucking have some. Because you just, honestly. How do we go from fucking Brian Robson and Roy Keane to a guy knee sliding after scoring against fucking Albania?
When's Robson's documentary out?
Not soon enough, Jay.
Oh no, we need to watch that. We need to get him on. Don't
Yeah, can we see if he'll watch it with us?
we? Imagine that. That'd be like amazing. That'd be the best thing ever.
Do you remember Robbo?
Not as a player, no. When did he... What,
He-
93 I was born.
96.
Yeah, his last game was his last game was against Coventry at Old Trafford in May 1994.
I've seen videos, obviously, but no. I was born...
My regret
96
is
took over Middlesbrough.
yeah. My regret is I got the back end of his career because like by like 11, 12 when I was 11, 12 he was coming towards the end and he was still phenomenal. You could still tell he was mid, but I would have loved to have seen him in the 80s.
I'm 37, right? I'm 38 in a couple of weeks. In my reference for how old someone is just having conversations with my dad and people in the pub and stuff like that about, look, Brian Robson was the greatest player of all time, but he's 34 now, so he's old. So in my opinion, or in my sort of like mind, 34 was fucking clapped and done. And
Right,
old,
right,
and
right,
you
right.
like that's it. Like you're not going to be, and I'm 37, and I'm thinking fucking.
What you got to remember as well, old Brian Robson, like he put his body on the line like no other player ever has, and he drank 12 pints of beer like at half time.
And the only caveat for him was, but he was the fittest in training the next day.
Do you know what I love about Robson? I've been lucky enough to meet him a couple of times, interviewed him once, and he was saying that when he came to, I think AC Milan were in for him, and they wanted to buy him, and United said, how much has Maradona gone to Barcelona for? Or how much has gone from Barcelona to... whatever that
there's
is,
your price.
that's the price of you, because you're as good as him. And AC Milan were like, oh, we can't afford that. Brian Robson was like, all right, that's fair. Because he was that good that he thought that was United being
That's
reasonable.
good,
Like, asking for the same as what Maradona was, because he was as good as him.
Yeah, and he wasn't like, fucking hell, you keep me here against Will.
Yeah.
He was like,
All right, that's
I
reasonable.
am probably worth that league.
Yeah.
It's a boot fair league.
All right. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah, quite good at the accent.
This has been the Stretford Paddock podcast.
I could probably get me a couple of rums. I definitely could do a Robbo.
Do you reckon?